That is the 2017 Honda HR-V.
The HR-V has been a huge success for Honda, putting the brand back on the map since its launch in 2015. Within 6 months, it quickly became Honda's best-selling model, comfortably outpacing the Jazz and CR-V. It seems that Honda arrived just in time to ride the subcompact SUV boom, with many buyers wanting an increased ride height, along with the practicality of an SUV, whilst just 4.3 meters long, maintaining compact dimensions for easy maneuverability around town. Hello and welcome to another AutoReview video, and join us for an in-depth tour at the new 2017 HR-V. As always, a big thanks to Prestige Honda of Perth for letting us take the HR-V for review. Of course, styling is subjective, but I personally find the HR-V looking quite handsome. This model was the first to premiere Honda's new design language, with a solid wing face grille, which gives the car more of a bold stance and greater presence on the road. This flows into the headlamps, which on our model are halogen projectors. VTI-S and VTI-L models get bi-xenons with LED daytime running lights. On the side, the coupe-style inspiration comes into play, with hidden rear door handles along with a sinking roofline. All variants come with alloy wheels ranging from 16 to 17 inches and in 3 different designs. Here's a close-up of the rear door handle, nicely integrating into the C-pillar. On the top, there's a shark fin antenna for the radio, and your LED brake lights. And here is the key. Just a simple flip style with a lock and unlock switches. So get in the driver's seat. Got your 4 electric windows, along with your driver's and front passengers is automatic. Power door locks and window locks, and your power mirrors. So to start the car, just key in the ignition. This breathes life to a 1.8-litre 4-cylinder engine, producing 105 kilowatts of power and 172 Newton-meters of torque. Starting with the instrument panel, you've got 3 dials in front of the driver. To your left, you've got your standard tach with your gear selector indicator. In the middle, you've got your normal speedometer. And to the right, you've got your multi-information display. Now this is also toggled with the button on the steering wheel. And you can go through settings such as your rear seat seatbelt warning, average speed, average distance, and estimated range remaining. At the top, you've got your clock, your ambient temperature, along with your electronic fuel gauge. The steering wheel itself, this one's just a standard, it's not leather wrapped, that's reserved for the higher trims, but you still get your multifunction controls. So you've got your volume for your audio system, along with source, and you've got your favorite hotkeys, along with cruise control. And as mentioned before, the settings for the multi-information display, along with Bluetooth calling and voice control. Going over to your infotainment system, this is the same 7-inch display audio as used in a lot of Honda models with the Jazz and the City. You've got that pairs in Bluetooth audio, along with phone connection, and of course FM and AM radio. To start with your phone, I've got my phone paired to the system at the moment, so you can set new speed dials and view your call history, along with set up voice control with your phone's contact list. So as you can see, the unit is all touch. There's only 3 buttons on the head unit. Power, along with CD eject, and toggles for your day and night time brightness settings. As you can see, volume is also a touch slider, so you can either press the buttons or slide. Of course, you can change it on the steering wheel as well. Moving to your climate controls, this is an all-touch panel along with the infotainment system, so you can see it's a very clean design, the overall dashboard. And then you can either raise or lower your fan speed, select your desired temperature, or simply press automatic. You see the fans will ramp up. Put that back down. And your controls for fan on and off, air conditioning, recirc, along with rear and front demisters. Now over to the passenger side, you will notice a interesting design with the air vent. It's long and thin compared to the kind of driver's chunkier
air vent, you've got 3 separate individual fan controls. You can also switch them off as well and also raise and lower them. It's supposed to give a little bit more of a diffused air into the cabin. Whether it works, we'll see on a very hot summer's day. In the center console, you've got this floating kind of area for the transmission, so it places it nice and high and gives it a little bit more of a sporty feel. You've got your single straight line shifter along with your electronic parking brake and electric brake hold. So what it will do when you come to a stop, the HRV will keep it in position so the driver can take their feet off the brake. It's a feature that's usually reserved for more expensive cars, so it's good to see it in the HRV. Now, just below the gear selector, you'll see some of the most trick cup holders I've ever seen in my life. So at the moment, there's space for around 2 to 3 drinks. However, if you just want to store something a bit more bulky, you can fold the 2 dividers away. And if you've got large, tall bottles or coffee cups, these actually push down. And now you've got a much deeper space. And if you prefer just to use it as a storage cubby, this center divider comes out, and there you go. To bring the cup holders back, simply push the 2 buttons. Here is your center armrest. It's not too big, just enough space for some sunglasses and loose change. It's also hollowed out to allow space for the cup holders, but you can trade some of that space if you slide it forward to allow your arm to rest while driving.
It's not all roses though, as during my time with the car, I've noticed that the front seats don't go as far back as they should for taller drivers. If you're under 6 feet tall, you should have no problems, but if you're taller, I'd highly suggest taking the HRV for a longer test drive. And whilst you do have a great array of connection ports, just like the Civic, Honda's choice of placing it so low makes it difficult to reach, and the 12-volt power outlet is almost impossible to access for the driver. Best to leave that for your front passenger. One area that the HRV definitely doesn't fall short on is luggage capacity, with best in-class storage space of 437 litres. There are 4 tie-down hooks, and you can see the 2 top tether points for child seats. The opening is also tall and wide, and with a very low loading lip, getting awkwardly shaped or bulky items inside shouldn't be a hassle. Seats can also easily be folded into a 60-40 split to lie completely flat with the floor, thanks to Honda's Magic Seat system. And once you're down, you have 1,032 litres to play with, enough for 3 bikes or a weekend getaway. The front seat can also be flipped down to accommodate cargo over 2 meters in length, great for surfboards or that oversized IKEA flat pack. The Magic Seat system also has one more trick up its sleeve. By positioning the fuel tank underneath the front seats, the rear seat bases can be lifted up, allowing for taller objects to be placed vertically in the cabin. This arrangement is especially great for when you're at your local nursery, as plants can be slotted straight into the car. With no fuel tank in the way, there is also plenty of underseat storage. Hopping into the back, the same soft materials for the door trim have been used in the rear cabin. So once again, the nice leatherette and cloth combo. With the front seat in its furthest rear position, there is still a decent amount of knee room. In the center, there's a cup holder, no air vents or power outlets, however. 4 blank handles with retractable coat hangers on both sides, a nice touch. And like all models in this category, the center seat belt is a 2-stage contraption which extends from the roof, but keep it to 2 people in the back and both passengers should be very comfortable. On a small note, a quirk I discovered was that no matter what temperature you've set the climate control, a swipe up or down will immediately set the air conditioning to low or high, with the low setting definitely handy for our Australian summers. And for something to satisfy your OCD, on Honda vehicles you notice that the bottom of the H symbol lines up perfectly with the air valve. However, this is no coincidence as it's actually a requirement from the production factory. Bet you didn't know that. That's a 2017 Honda HR-V. As always, like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.